live from the Quad Cities with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, we'll get to know some four-legged friends up for adoption and available to foster. The Humane Society of Scott County is here with details and kittens.
Common Chord's One Sound Piano Project is back for another year with additional locations. We'll learn more about this special initiative meant to bring people together.
And later, explore the river with River Action's summer education program underway now. We'll get the details on fun events and activities happening now through August. You're watching Quad Cities Live on this Monday, June 24th. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier.
And I'm Kyle Keel. We are getting a behind-the-scenes look this afternoon at the historic Hilltop Inn located in Davenport. It's just up the street from KWQC.
It is very cool.
Yeah.
Chris Kretz is with Historic Heights LLC and is joining us now. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. We're excited to talk to you about this. You have been updating and restoring this beautiful home there on Brady Street in Davenport. We know anybody that's been through Davenport has probably driven by it going up Brady Street Hill. So first, give us a little bit of history. This home has been around since the 1800s?
1871 it was built initially, and by a gentleman named Doms. And after a few years, the main part of the house, he went under and someone else bought it. And in 1890 they added on the, what is now the dining room and a tower and some other things. And from there he sold it to the diocese of, Catholic Diocese of Davenport. And a bishop and his assistant moved in there and lived there for a number of years, and then his successor moved in. So locally it's referred to as the bishop's house.
Okay, yes.
And then years later someone turned it into a bed and breakfast and called it the Bishop's House Inn. And after that, St. Ambrose owned it, ran it as a B&B for a while, and then turned it into their alumni house for offices and events. And we purchased it from them.
We've got the then and now photo up right now. That is very, very cool to see because you guys have really been able to keep the house looking as it did
on the outside.
Yes, exactly. Very, very cool. And I think my most recent memory of it was with St. Ambrose and the alumni house. And it's great that, I mean, you guys have been able to turn it into something of different use. And people have already been using it.
Even before we were officially open.
I can't get over that.
We were there before it officially opened.
We were. We got a little sneak peek early in the new year.
So, we had a couple people stay there, and it's been great. And right now we actually have meetings there right now being rented for meetings. They can rent it half or full day for business meetings, off-site retreat kind of thing, and we'll be renting it for evening events. It's a great spot for murder mysteries.
Beautiful. I know. When you told me somebody's already had a murder mystery party there, I was like, that is the brightest idea I've heard in a long time, because this is the perfect home for it. We're finally getting a peek inside. It's very cool.
Or if you just have a large group coming into town, or even if you're local, want a nice staycation, you can rent all the bedrooms and have the whole place to yourself.
And because it's been in the Quad Cities for quite a long time, it's actually a historical site, right? It's a registered historical site.
1983.
Right?
Yes.
Exactly.
It's been registered.
So tell us some of the work that you've done in here, because like we said, we've been in there and we have seen through the renovations, and you've done quite a bit of work to make this place very beautiful.
The outside we've left to the professionals. Falcon Improvements have been doing a fantastic job on a lot of the roofing and soffits in different areas out there. And LA Home Improvements, a good friend of mine, Glenn Locke, helped me inside. Did a couple bathrooms and just a lot of the tweaking and just patching walls and patching floors, fixing this and that. So it's just been a lot of nothing grand on the inside as of yet, but with when you're dealing with a historical home, you're limited what you can do. You can't just knock out walls and things. You have to patch and preserve. So it takes a little time.
Important.
Well, and even still, I mean, if it's not a grand idea at the start, sometimes with a home this old, it turns into a grand project.
Oh, it's been quite the undertaking.
I could only imagine. I live in a home
when we started it, I had hair.
And now it's all gone.
And no gray.
No, I sort of know how that goes. My home's not quite as old as this one, but I know
but
things
you're also
do,
in an old home, yes.
Things do pop up every now and again.
Old homes take work.
Do you have a favorite space in this house as we're looking at these photos that you guys provided for us?
Every one is unique. There's one bedroom that has my favorite. There are 6 fireplaces, and one bedroom has my favorite fireplace. But each one is just. I'm not sure if there's a. I like kitchens, and I like this kitchen because my kitchen is small at home. This kitchen is large, and I love to cook.
It's a gathering kitchen.
Yes, but I've yet to cook there. But it's just. It has a wide open 3rd floor. We hope to renovate and turn into more of like a recreation and game room and for a couple big screen TVs for watching a game, something like that.
That's great. Yeah.
Down the road.
We've seen from some of the pictures, and like you said, people have already been utilizing the space. So looking ahead, have people already been booking the space for all sorts of different events?
We have a lot of inquiries, and we're just getting the word out now.
Sure.
Yeah.
People say, well, let us know when it's available so we can come in and book. So those will start to be coming in. But we did have some people coming in for the John Deere Classic. They are no longer coming, so it's open then, and it's open for the BICS now.
Hot tip.
All right, there we go.
Can you imagine?
We're still going to have a party in the yard.
Space.
Sign me up. That'd be cool.
But if you want to rent and stay there for the BICS, that's the hot corner this year.
That is the hot corner. That is right at the top of the hill. You can see all of us with our purple,
might end up having
red
auction
faces.
it off. I don't know.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Before we let you go, so the Hilltop Inn of Davenport, let's talk a little bit about the name because it is a reflection of the neighborhood that it's in.
It is part of the Hilltop Campus Village, which is the business and community from the bridge up to Vanderveer. And it sits atop of the hill. So just kind of naming it after that and keeping the name as part of the community and not calling the Chris Inn.
Right. That would have been easy.
It would have been nice.
Petition for
but
that.
no, just as soon as we thought of the name, I thought of the logo, had it done, and so and it's a great name, the Hilltop.
It is, and it's nice to see people looking at that neighborhood and improving and spending time and attention there because that is important and it is such a beautiful place.
And like you said, everyone drives by it because it's on Brady, and I remember driving by so many times and you wonder what it looks like inside. You see these historic homes and you wonder what they look like inside. Well, now you can find out.
Now you know, absolutely. Well, to learn more about the Hilltop Inn of Davenport or to book the space for an event, vacation, or the BICS, visit the website on your screen. That's historicheightsllc.com. Chris, thank you for coming in and chatting with us. It looks like a great space.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right. Well, up next on QCL, we have not one, but 2 adorable and adoptable 4-legged friends here for a visit. We'll meet the kittens and learn more about an important microchipping event set for tomorrow night.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
It is time now to meet our adoptable 4-legged friend for this week, and lucky us, we have 2 of them in-house today.
They are very cute.
They are.
Mindy and Sylvia Steele are the mom and daughter duo joining us from the Humane Society of Scott County. So first of all, welcome to you ladies.
Yes,
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course, and then welcome to this little gal here who is just, I don't think there's a cuter, you're both equally cute. Okay, so tell us a little bit about, we'll start with baby Spinach.
Yes.
So baby Spinach here is about 4 weeks old, month old. We're a little shy of being able to be old enough to have that surgery to be available for adoption. We are still looking for a foster home for baby Spinach, as well as lots of other kittens in our nursery right now. They just need a little time before they can go on the adoption floor.
Where did you guys come up with the name Baby Spinach?
Oh, our front desk staff is amazing at naming these.
We love it. We really do.
we got the green collar for the baby Spinach.
Yes.
So I mean, we gotta match the collar with the name.
Absolutely.
Angel girl.
She's
okay,
so cute.
So and then this one is Cody Rhodes, correct?
Correct.
So cute.
Cody's about 6 months
Beautiful
old. He
eyes.
just came home from foster home today to the adoption floor. His brother is Kane. I don't know if we have any WWE fans out there, but if you do, Cody Rhodes and Kane are both available and on the adoption floor at the Humane Society.
Okay, so one thing that we were talking about right before we started the segment, well, you just mentioned it, they just got back from foster. Talk about the importance and the benefit of that, specifically in relation to Cody and Kane?
Okay, well, foster homes are a huge benefit to our shelter in general. We couldn't do it without them, and I'm not just saying that. 25% of our animals that came through our shelter last year went through foster homes. Everybody knows that we are over capacity, and without those foster homes to take that 25%, we couldn't do it without them. Cody and Kane specifically have had a couple onsets of upper respiratory infection, kind of a kitty cold. So instead of having to recover alone in a kennel at the shelter as a kitten and growing up in a kennel at the shelter, our foster homes take them in and let them recover at home, and they always do better recovering at home versus in a shelter.
And of course, Baby Spinach is one of those cats that is in need of a foster home. And I mean, you have many animals at the Humane Society that do need that. So if someone's interested in fostering, about how long should they take on that responsibility for, or expect to at least?
Each situation is different. As far as Baby Spinach goes here, at 4 weeks old, we can probably expect for her to go into foster for probably another 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
And then she can be ready for, as you can see, she's energetic and
playful. Oh,
very. She will do good in probably anybody's home. We also have ones that are not quite as social as her, some that could take some time to, learn how to love people.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the social aspect of it too. That has to be huge in socializing these animals, because ultimately they are going to be somebody's family pet, and you want them to feel well adjusted. So I would assume that foster care really helps with that.
Oh, definitely. We do get a lot of kittens from the community that were born and started being raised outside in feral communities, and need a little help to learn that people aren't scary, and helps them get to the adoption floor.
Yeah. Well, we want to do a quick update also. I love updates like this.
I do too.
The kittens from the Humane Society of Scott County's last visit, Lux and Silas, they were both adopted.
They were at our kitten shower event that we were here promoting. So
that's
that
awesome.
first day, within a few hours, they both went home.
That's great. We're so happy to hear that. I feel like we've done nothing but good updates since we started updating
all
folks.
Going to good homes.
And they're all going to good homes. So that's what we want out of this after all. So that's great. Microchipping too.
Very important.
That is huge. And you guys have an event coming up.
We do. With the 4th of July coming up, all the fireworks happening, everybody knows that is a big fear for dogs. It scares a lot of dogs to run. We get a lot of an influx of dogs coming into the shelter scared from the fireworks. So now is a good time. Tomorrow night from 5 to 7, we will be doing free microchipping and $10 rabies certificates.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Anybody is welcome to come. You don't have to be in Scott County to take advantage of that.
Oh, you don't?
That's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
So we have had a very generous donor donate that money for those free microchips, which is the only reason we're able to do it for free. So we want all these dogs being able to go home safely, cats too. It's not just for dogs, but yep.
Because they can stray away as well.
Absolutely. We want to be able to get everybody back to their homes.
Oh my goodness.
And we got to get Baby Spinach a foster family to
yes, please.
To get her used to people and get her playing and get her ready to find a permanent home.
And we do have foster applications on our website at hssc.us.
Awesome. Well, if you would like to adopt or foster a pet, we have the address for the Humane Society at the bottom of your screen right now. And you can also fill out that application that she was just talking about on their website. Just visit hssc.us. Mindy, Sylvia, Cody Rhodes, and Baby Spinach.
You are all so
Thank you all for joining us today.
Yes,
thank you so much for having us.
Of course. Well, still to come on Quad Cities Live, physical discomfort can truly take a toll on your happiness and your well-being. We'll welcome an orthopedic surgeon to take a closer look at the causes of ankle arthritis.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
If you suffer from arthritis, a kind of joint inflammation, you're not alone. In fact, there are more than 150 different types of arthritis and millions who struggle with it. Dr. Tuvi Mendel is an orthopedic surgeon and is joining us in the studio today. Dr. Mendel, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, let's get to it. You perform foot and ankle surgery. Today, we are focused on ankle arthritis. So what would somebody be feeling if they were dealing with ankle arthritis?
So fairly commonly, patients come in and they complain of foot pain or ankle pain. And you have to be specific regarding, is it a foot pain or is it ankle pain? Traditionally, it's achiness, pain, occasional sensation of instability, decreased range of motion, swelling, difficulties doing daily activities. Those are the kind of things that most patients usually complain about.
Okay, so what would be the different causes of ankle arthritis? Is there one specific thing that causes it? Is there anything that we can be doing now to try and avoid it?
So traditionally, there's a few versions, most commonly osteoarthritis, some are rheumatoid arthritis. But the most common typical one is osteoarthritis, and could be related to post-traumatic, some injury that you've had in the past, or it could be related to underlying deformity or some foot issues that can predispose you to having deformities, which subsequently lead to arthritis.
Okay, so let's talk about people's options. So, and you brought some examples with you, so if there is anything that you want to show us, feel free. Non-surgical, I'm assuming, is where people would prefer to go. What are some of the options as far as relieving pain in that way without surgery?
So non-surgical obviously is a first option we go to. Traditionally, you can use shoe modifications, sometimes braces, sometimes injections, sometimes physical therapy can help. Anti-inflammatories.
Okay, and when that doesn't help, what are we feeling? When do we feel like it's time to call somebody like you?
So when you notice that it's starting to affect your quality of life, and that every time you're thinking about doing something, you're having difficulties to the point that it's interfering with your lifestyle, you probably want to see me. You don't usually want to see me, but at that point, you probably want to see me.
Okay, and then surgical options. There are multiple options there, I'm assuming, because there are probably multiple types of arthritis in the ankle.
So traditionally, I wanted to make people aware. You know, I do a lot of shoulder replacement, we do a lot of knee replacement, and most patients are aware of what a knee replacement looks like. But most patients are not aware, and I find it frequently in my clinic that when they come in with ankle issues, they're not necessarily aware of the fact that there's such a thing as an ankle replacement. Traditionally, the things that you have to be considering is there a foot deformity, and do you have to fix that first? And subsequently, if you do have arthritis, are you a candidate basically for a replacement, or are you a candidate for a fusion? And most patients, if you gave them the options, would much rather have a replacement than a fusion. And these are essentially two examples of an ankle replacement where basically you are doing essentially what you do with a knee replacement, but you're using metal components above and below with a plastic component on the center to maintain range of motion of the ankle and allow you to provide better function and able to walk a little bit better, as opposed to fusion, where you basically fuse the ankle and you can't move it anymore.
Okay, so the range of motion is entirely different.
Not only range of motion, more importantly, the study shows that if you maintain the range of motion, you are preventing arthritis from developing in the other joints in the foot. If you fuse this one, then the other joints bear the load, and subsequently they tend to deteriorate quickly, and therefore it's better to have continued function and range of motion to prevent other joints in the foot from basically developing arthritis.
Okay, so it sounds like a replacement is a favorable option.
If possible.
I was going to ask, I mean, is everybody a candidate for that? What makes them a candidate or not a candidate for that?
So not everybody's a candidate. Obviously, age is a factor, but we're starting to do it more and more in younger individuals because we find the benefits outweigh the fact that they're a little bit younger. Additional medical issues, diabetes, peripheral neuropathy, vascular issues, peripheral vascular disease, previous surgeries that they've had potentially, deformities, you know, those are the type of things that come into effect.
Okay, and talk about the rehab. So let's say that we get a full replacement, like you just showed us here. Is it a long time before we're doing things like we want to do them or like we used to do them before the arthritis?
So traditionally, it's not as bad as it could be, but with an ankle replacement, I usually keep them off of it for about 2 to 3 weeks. Start physical therapy at about 2 weeks post-op. Usually by 6 weeks, most patients are walking in a brace and gradually starting to wean out of a brace.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So people can contact you through orthopedic specialists?
Yes.
And if they have questions about this, and we'll get that information up for everybody. So if you're struggling with arthritis, particularly like we talked about today in your ankle, you can contact Dr. Mendel by calling the number on your screen. You can also learn more about the ways that orthopedic specialists can help you just by heading to osquadcities.com. Thank you so much, Dr. Mendel, for being here and just kind of making it easy to understand.
Thank you. My pleasure.
We appreciate it. Well, much more to come in our next half hour of Quad Cities Live, including a visit from Common Chord to talk more about the One Sound Piano Project that's back for another year. And later, hear from Guinness World Record holders or learn about plastic pollution, even commercial fishing. You can do all of that by hopping on board the Channel Cat water taxi for the popular Channel Cat Talks. We'll explain.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
It's time now for our wins of the weekend. So we're going to celebrate maybe something good that happened over the weekend. Do you have a win?
I do. I have a couple of wins. I didn't take many pictures. I'm getting really bad at that. I used to be really good at it, but now I did snap one photo of my nephew along with my kids. We kept my nephew behind the emoji there, just out of respect for him and my brother and sister-in-law. But they had a ton of fun playing on the new swing set that they got in their backyard. And they got to hang out with their cousin for the afternoon. We only lasted a few minutes. This was Saturday. We only lasted probably about 10-15 minutes outside because it was so warm and humid. But yesterday, we made it up to our friend's farm in Cordova and spent the afternoon out there. And it was just, man, country living is not for me, but it is just.
But it's sometimes it is, right?
So nice. It's so nice and relaxing just to be out there and be outside all those hours with that fresh air. It was a nice weekend.
Well, good. That is definitely a winning weekend.
How about you?
Speaking of being outside, though, and this is not my win, I took Darbs to the pool this weekend, and you know, as a parent, you're so concerned with like the sunscreen for them.
Oh, yes.
I have the worst sunburn on my back.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's not a win. Boo.
That's a fail. That is a fail.
It's so hard. You don't know when the right time to put it on is, and sometimes it's too late.
I don't know what I did. I definitely dropped the ball. She even helped me. Maybe that's why I'm sunburned.
Maybe.
My actual win is on Friday. I told you that my mother's visiting right now from Canada, so I'm super excited. She always has a project, okay?
Yes.
She finds something in my house that she wants to work on. So I have this like cabinet where I put all like, you know, glassware, wine glasses and platters and things like that. Well, she turned it from this old reddish color. Yes, and there's my green. If you know me, you know I love green.
I mean, if you've not noticed Morgan's nails, they are that color of green. Literally that color of green.
I agree. So she's currently working on that, and no, she did not paint over the windows. I sent the photo to somebody. They said she painted the windows. She put something new on it where you're supposed to be able to just take off in one sheet when you're done painting. So the windows on that thing, we'll see if it works.
Okay.
I'll update anybody who's watching that's curious. It's some new thing that you can put. So we'll see if it works or if it's destroyed.
I mean, hey, I like that color. I think that's, I mean, and that's totally you. So
me, the plants, the green chairs, I love it. So win of the week, weekend. Yes. All right, still to come on QCL, there's music in the air, and that's thanks in part to Common Chord. We'll get an update on the Friday Night Live at 5 concerts, along with the One Sound Piano Project after the break.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Well, starting today, you'll be able to spot beautifully painted pianos in some of the Quad Cities' most iconic locations. It's one of the many musical initiatives of local organization Common Chord. Here from Common Chord is Steve Ahrens, along with artist and musician Regan Hatfield. Thank you both for being here today and chatting with me.
Great to be here.
We have so much to talk about. Steve, we were just talking about Common Chord. It's busy season for Common Chord.
It really is. If there's, I mean, I think all year it's busy, but certainly in the summer it is. We're at the market. We have Live at 5. We have the One Sound Piano Project.
You have a lot going on. Different kids camps. I mean, we're going to talk about a lot of it today. So the One Sound Piano program, which you just alluded to, so it's back for another year. Is this the third year?
This is, yes.
Okay, so describe what it is, because you know most of us have probably seen one of these pianos around
Absolutely.
town.
I have a feeling. So we take donated pianos and we repurpose them with the help of local artists that we provide a stipend to, and we place them. We actually then have a design with that we approve with the artists, and we place them in public spaces.
Yeah.
And so we partner with various community places. So there's all sorts of places, from the zoo to the farmers market to the airport, and we can talk about that in a second. And then you know, it's a free sort of interaction.
People can just play it?
They play away, and so it's great because where they're placed, they're very easily accessible.
Yeah.
And so everyone from the novice to we've seen people who are very well trained,
yes,
who will just play away, and that is what it's all about, really.
Yeah, I will vouch for that. There was one at the Freight House Farmers Market. Typically we spend time there every summer, and one day I sat there on that boardwalk thing outside, and multiple people were on that piano playing it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So, you know, so even if you just know one song,
well, and sometimes
super cool.
I mean, it's from chopsticks to sometimes it's the first time for kids, their first interaction with an instrument,
super
especially
cool.
a piano.
Well, new this year is live piano painting. Regan, that's where you come in.
Yeah.
So tell me about what's planned. You're going to be at the airport, right?
Well, this part is already completed, so this is exciting.
Yeah.
So he just recently spent the last several weeks.
It seemed like a month, right?
Right, exactly.
Which was, the airport's a really pleasant place to hang out, I found out.
Is it?
I guess if you were flying, probably not so much. If you're backed
Is
up.
this you here that we're seeing?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So there's some footage when it was underway happening. We were able to capture, but it just as of last Friday, Thursday, completed. But,
congrats.
But basically, you want to talk a little bit about what you did, how you spent the last few weeks.
Well, first of all, you know, the design is sort of geared around being in an airport.
Yeah.
And each side will show that. You got the Common Court side and the other side the airport. But the front was unique for me because I've actually have a song that influenced the front. And it's called Throwing Flowers from a 747.
Oh, wow.
And it's about, you know, somebody leaving on a plane and the girls standing there playing their song.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like it just happened to be the perfect piano and the perfect place for all that.
That's awesome. And so people could just come, if they're going through the airport, they could see you painting this piano.
I've heard some stories already. That's been amazing.
Can
imagine.
It's located right in the atrium between like doors 5 and 6. And so during the time that he would spend painting, we heard lots of comments. He heard lots of comments from passengers coming and going that were just mesmerized.
Conversation starter.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you want from this.
Exactly. And so we hadn't done that before in the past. So this was new this year. In the past, we would, artists would paint, off site, right? And then we would deliver them to the locations.
Yeah.
But this was new in conjunction, in partnership with the Quad City Airport and obviously with Regan and Common Cord. And so I see that catching on a little bit more in future years.
I think it's great. You guys have added some locations to this year as well. So we just had the list up, and we'll make sure we get it on the website as well. Right. You had mentioned the zoo. Of course, we mentioned the airport. We know it's going to be at the Freight House, but the Botanical Center, there's pianos everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And another one I want to mention in our brief time is like the Martin Luther King Center in Rock Island. So they're adding an outdoor classroom.
Oh.
And so contacted us about adding a piano that wasn't, in this case, the students are going to design and paint it and place it. So we just last week delivered that piano to the outdoor classroom area, and then we'll have those pictures once they finish. But we're really excited about the use in that way.
You should be excited.
Right.
And Regan, I mean, you have a background in music, as you mentioned, and in art. So this has to be a meaningful project for you.
It is. I mean, everything about it fits perfectly into what my life has been about.
Yeah, I love that.
And first of all, instruments are amazing, even if you can't play them. Even if it's just all of it works. So if you could just do pianos forever, I'd be cool with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And before we run out of time, speaking of music and instruments, you have your Friday Live at 5 concert series that is back. This is a blast. People have so much fun at it. Is it a free?
It absolutely is free. Yes, every Friday now through August, we basically are we're in the courtyard, the Skybridge Courtyard off 2nd Street. Fridays at 5. It runs till about 7.
It's great.
And it's free. We have chairs, but you're welcome to bring your own
You can bring your own chairs. You can bring the kids.
Absolutely.
You get to hear from all sorts of different musicians.
Check out our website, which I'm sure they'll scroll here in a second,
Yep.
and for the band listings for each week. But every Friday.
Well, I did check out the website earlier today, and your calendar is jam-packed for the summer.
There's lots going on.
As we mentioned, and lots of really fun stuff happening. So, as Steve mentioned, you can look for the Live at 5 concert schedule on the website. Other events, there's a camp for kids that they posted on there. So just visit commonchordqc.org. Steve and Regan, thank you so much for chatting with us today. This is just such an awesome initiative.
Yeah, it's great.
Really gets people chatting. All right, thank you. Up next on QCL, we'll move from dry land to the Mississippi River. Hear more about Channel Cat talks underway now after the break.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
From scavenger hunts to hikes, even lectures on the Mississippi River, River Action is helping us learn and explore.
Yeah, lots going on with River Action, and Ashley Hammerlink is River Action's Environmental Education Program Manager, and she joins us now to talk all about what she does. Thanks so much, Ashley, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so first we want, River Action's been around for a while here in the Quad Cities, so talk about your goal at River Action.
Yeah, so we are celebrating our 40th anniversary this year, which is exciting. As a program manager, our education program manager, my goal is really to get our community outdoors, exploring nature, learning about nature, really bringing appreciation to what's outside. Yeah.
Well, you guys are doing a great job of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so summer is a very busy time, especially for you folks at River Action, and you have a series underway. It's already started. People still have so much time though to get in on it and get involved. Tell us about the series.
So our summer education program is Explore the River series, and that is our Channel Cat Talks, our riverine walks. It's a 13-week series. We have 9 weeks left, so there's plenty left to see. And that just, our Channel Cat Talks are on the Channel Cat water taxi, and then riverine walks are along the river at different locations.
Yeah, and I was just on the Channel Cat a few weeks ago here on Quad Cities Live, and that was one thing that they were mentioning were these Channel Cat talks. So what can people expect if they sign up for one of these talks? Because there's many throughout the summer.
Yep. So we just finished one with Common Chord, actually, and they had some stories and some music. This week it's full and sold out, but it is with Dana Starkle, the fantastic voyage on the Mississippi. So he paddled the Amazon from like Canada down to Brazil. So that'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
We have one left on plastic pollution, commercial fishing, I-74 bridge, locks and dams. So there's a lot different. Yeah.
Why did you guys decide to do something like this? Because this is a real benefit. I mean, for the community, for families, just to be able to learn about this stuff in such a beautiful setting.
Yeah, again, really to get the community outdoors educated. They're all kinds of experts, really teaching guests firsthand about nature, history, culture of the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
And I had never heard of these before, and they happen twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's relatively cheap. It's what, $20?
Yep.
So all you have to do is just go to the website and sign up, and they take off from the Celebration Bell area, right?
Yep, Riverbend Commons, Channel Cat Dock.
Okay, and then the riverine, is that how I say it? The riverine walks. So those are almost like hikes, not difficult, but you will meet at different locations, like you mentioned, along the Mississippi. But it's similar in that you will be taking something away from that time.
Yep. Yep, more getting out into nature, learning things. Those are $10. Wednesday night, Saturday mornings.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then Explore and Seek Adventure Hunt. This is for people of all ages, even for the kids. I mean, this sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the whole month of June, so you still have plenty of time left. Like one more week, one more weekend. All ages, families, it's pretty popular.
It's a scavenger hunt?
It's a scavenger hunt along the river. It goes from Princeton Wildlife Reserve all the way to Loud Thunder.
Wow.
And you answer clues, you can win prizes.
Yeah, talk about some of those prizes, because some of them are a lot
pretty
of fun.
cool.
Yeah, a lot of family fun prizes available for people who can find out these clues, figure out these clues.
Yep, prizes this year include a PlayStation 5,
wow.
giant Yeti cooler, jump passes.
Oh yeah, at the fun station, I see that that's part of it. Elevate Jump Park as well.
That is great. And is that what this is for? So you get a certificate once you complete it, or?
Yeah, so if kids register as a junior explorer, they can solve clues at 5 parks, and they'll get a little hat and then a certificate of completion.
Well, this is so great because, you know, I think as parents, especially as your kids get a little older, and our kids are kind of young, but you're always looking for something really special and cool to do with them during the summer months. And there's nothing more unique, I feel like, than being able to do this, because like you said, you're getting more people outside and getting families outside and spending time together at the end of the day. You guys have lots of other events too happening this summer. Of course, we're all gearing up for Floatzilla, which is going to be here before we know it.
Yeah. So that's August 16th and 17th. We've got, during packet pickup, we've got an outdoor expo swap, and and then we have the Danny Lynn Howe Band playing after the race.
Always trying to break that world record.
It is such a cool day. I mean, even if, you know, I think everyone should participate, right? If you can, because we're trying to break that record. But it is cool just to even run by on the riverfront and see everybody out there trying to achieve this. It's a sight.
I love the shots from above of everyone out there.
I do too.
It's such a neat thing that we do here in the Quad Cities. And also, this is interesting that River Action's involved in senior golf tours in September.
Yeah, so there's 3 different locations on either side of the river, and just a lot of golf carts traveling up and down the river.
And finally, before we let you go, we'll remind everybody the Taming of the Slough Adventure Race. This is becoming more and more popular every single year. That comes up at the end of September 28th. It's a triathlon, so we're telling people now, because you're going to want some time to train for that. Okay, well, if you want to register for any of River Action's summer events, be sure to check out the website on your screen. That's riveraction.org. Ashley, thank you for coming on the show today. You have just a wealth of information to share, so hopefully everyone will check out the website. All right, thank you so much for watching.
The local news at 4 is coming up next. Have a great evening.
Good job.